thing.
Okay, we're recording now.
Alright, sweet.
Great. Alright. Woohoo!
Start at the beginning of chapter 2 here, then?
Yes.
Yeah, understanding young adolescents.
Yes. Great. Okay, so whoever was just talking can go.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, starting off, what did you guys think about the chapter as a whole? Like, what was it like? What you originally thought it would be like, or did you have like other, I don't know, like assumptions about the adolescent years?
It's funny because like understand young adolescence is such a general topic, so I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to understand young adults, like, or young adolescents. Yeah. That's great, like, but it definitely had a lot more depth than I thought it would. Like learning new terminology, like transcends. Is it transcendence or something like that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that those were like that was a classification of students. So I was like, cool, great.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. It was definitely a lot of new information. So
I thought it was super interesting when they talked about like the mind stuff. That kids how they're literally just not like developed enough to understand and like do certain things. Like you expect so much out of them, they literally just like mentally cannot comprehend a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is stuff like from day to day, like you don't think about because you just like tend like you can like lose patience with kids and stuff like that. But, like, huge stuff like that. No.
And like skipping to like just page like 24 and 25, like you just see like their physical development, the cognitive development, social development, emotional, like that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, jeez. And to think like we went through that like 8 years ago or so.
But then like thinking about it, I was like, man, I really did act like that as a 7th grader.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah, it was. It's funny because, like, on the second page of the chapter, page 20, it's talked about like how they experience new habits, like and impulses and twitching and like needing to move. Like, I didn't realize that I was like that. I was cracking my knuckles like all the time, and it drove my teachers nuts. But like that was one of the things that I did that like I didn't get up and skip around the room, but like I did something that kept me moving because I just needed to have something to do. But yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, and humming.
Yeah, I think things like moving my feet, like even if I was just sitting at my desk, like people probably thought I had like some issues, so I just kept bouncing my knees and stuff, just like trying to like move something.
Yeah.
Like where they talked about it, but there was like one part that they were talking about how when you like catch a student doing something wrong and they know that they're doing it wrong, they just like can't stop. They're just like they understand that what they're doing is wrong, but they just will keep doing it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was whenever you ask them like, "What did you just do?" and they're like, "I don't know," because they just don't know why they did it.
Every student's favorite answer, I don't know.
I get in my field a lot, and I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, the transcendence was like a weird thing because it says like referring to the developmental stage beginning just before puberty and extending through early adolescence. So that's like a huge chunk of time, and that's where like all these examples where it says like they like boys who play with dump trucks and then like those who can operate real ones. Like that's the span of time that they go through, like between the beginning of that and then the end of that. And I'm like, that's a lot of time. Like that's kind of scary. Yeah. That was a lot.
And like completely based on how they're raised, like maybe some kids were like completely catered to like as a kid. And then other kids, they had to work since they were like 10 years old. So
definitely,
there's such a big gap of like a range of possibilities for all these kids. Like you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's true.
Going off that, like, do you feel there is a mix in like all schools, or do you think like it varies on like the location, like whether it's like a rural school or like an urban city, or like run of the mill, like just your average school?
Yeah, that's a good question, because like I was whenever at the school that I'm like student teaching at in a couple weeks. I had a girl last year that she literally missed school because she had to go work on the farm. Like she purposefully did not come to school because her parents were like, "All right, today's the day that you got to plow the fields," and she's like, "Okay," like that's crazy. And then there's other kids like me. I was just taught to do chores. Like I didn't have to like do manual labor or anything, but like I knew what I needed to do in my house in order for it to like me to do like pay my dues, I guess. But like I don't know, it was I know that there are kids that definitely do not do anything and that do so much. Like they're pretty much already adults. So that's crazy.
And then like on the other side of the spectrum, like I've looked into like inner city stuff like that, and then you also have like a portion of kids that will come to school and like they didn't eat breakfast or like dinner the night before. It's just like, and you're trying to expect them to like focus on how to add fractions. Like it's such the conception of it is like just crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. It's funny because like that's the field I'm in right now. I'm in our cultural diversity field that you guys will do when you're seniors, but like there are Columbus City schools require free meal programs now. So like the kids have to eat breakfast because like, before whenever I was growing up, we came to school without breakfast, and like that was my choice because I didn't like to eat breakfast, but a lot of the kids like just didn't have it, and so they of course they can't focus, they're starving. So it's like it's definitely a good move for the like schools to do that, but like I totally understand why kids struggle to focus because they are hungry or distracted, and it's hard.
Yeah, I remember at my school, I went to Waynesville, like, they had that. I'm pretty sure you had to pay, like, a really small fee for it, though, but, like, you didn't see many, like, take advantage of that. But, I mean, the food wasn't really the best. So.
Yeah.
But to those kids, it is, though.
Oh, yeah, that's the sad part.
Yeah. Bowl of cereal is great, right? The next thing I have after that is the embracing young adolescent development. And the first sentence of that section was like super nice because it's like effective middle school level teachers have learned how to appreciate and make the most out of their students' developmental characteristics rather than fight against them. Because I think our natural instinct is to say, hey, quit tapping. It's driving me nuts. Like, that's at least I'm like, please stop. But it's just something that they need in order to focus and in order to do what they do. And if they don't, then they're angry or they kind of like push back and say like, no, I'm going to do what I want. So it's like, we can't fight against those things. We have to learn how to teach with them. So that was interesting.
Or actually just like pulling them to the side and like trying to figure out why they're attacking, like what led, or like if there's something else that they're thinking about, or like anything that you can try to work with them to get focused. Like.
Definitely. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then there's socialization that helps too. The socializing part after that is like have them work together. Don't always have individual work because that's exhausting for them to not work together all the time. Just be quiet.
Yeah, when I was reading that, I was like, well, when you're in like a middle school classroom, literally, whether it's planned socialization or like not planned, they're gonna socialize no matter what. So you might as well just make it a part of your day, like work it into whatever you're trying to teach your content type stuff, because it's gonna happen no matter what. So.
Yeah. And then later it talks about transitions and stuff, and like that's what's hard, is that like you say, okay, we're just going to transition to this, and then automatically it's social time. And they're like, oh, let me just talk to this person real quick, and you're like, no, wait, I needed to say something.
Yeah. And like all throughout the book, like especially on the page 23 that we're on, like you see the word belonging, it's italicized, and it's like everywhere, dotted all over this page. Like that's what it's all about for them. Like they just want to belong to something, like whether it's like the community around them, even if it's just like a handful of students, like they want to belong. And so like it's important for us to like help them feel like they belong. But we need to make sure that's like healthy, because there are ways that they can slip and like belong to something unhealthy.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a good point. That's like one of the things that you don't think about, like, because you're so focused on